you can keep an eye on
the
the
boxes out, and we'll see what to do with the bags.
Do we have everything?
Host 18 preschoolers between the ages of 3, 4, and 5. We keep them until they're school ready. And once they've participated in our program for a year, either 3 to 4, 4 to 5, or some have late birthdays and they have to stay and don't get a chance to attend school till 6. We encourage those parents after they've stayed with us for a year to go and find a pre-K facility and or another entity so the child doesn't outgrow the system and doesn't start won't develop a bore for education. So yeah, we have computers, leapfrogs, and each child have a chance to get the feel for technology and computers and mashing the buttons and watching things change. This is our toddler 1 room. This is the age group of 2 through 3. So this is, I'm just now learning to potty, I'm just now discovering my housekeeping, and this is the room that we continue to rotate. Every 2 weeks we'll continue to change the environment because it helps them to make friends and it helps them to watch the change, what's next, because they get to know their environment really, really quick. The next classroom is to the toddler 1 room. They're our little explorers. They're between the ages of 12 months to 2 years of age. There's some that just migrated from the infant room, and then some that are new babies who just entered the facility. I have no favorites, but these little bitty explorers have not quite grasped that I can do it by myself, but want everything to be mine. So I think that's so exciting. No different. And all of them are experiencing the transition and change from homelessness to independence just like their parents are. So we try to meet that need first and foremost. We educate. We have very high standards for our parents for the curriculum and education. We expect for them to meet us where we are, and we give them no excuses. They pay us with their time, and they pay us with their attendance and their willingness to move forward from this situation. Although all of our services are free, parents give a lot to get independent, and they give a lot to be functional. I'm a very proud client. That I used to be a client here in 2006. I was homeless, I was displaced, and I was able to move through the program just like any one of these parents, and now I'm currently part of the educational system for the parents and the children. I used to be the infant lead teacher. Now I work alongside the child care director to meet the needs of the families. Great rewarding position. Can't ever top it in my life. And I know that the system of this program works, because it doesn't demand the parents to go too fast, and it doesn't allow them to go too slow. It helps them step by step by step with social services to move forward from being homeless to stable to independent. This particular setup classroom is for the adults. It's called the parent training room, and what happens in this room is mock interviews. They have access to computers. The computers are stored over in the cabinet. They actually have a area where they can eat breakfast and lunch. They have their own refrigerator, microwave, counter. They set up their coffee. They have their snacks. They have a place where they keep all of their information for as resumes and whatnot. And what happens is different people come into our facility and offer them mock interviews. And with these mock interviews, some clients are potentially hired and some clients are not. But that doesn't mean that the next set of mock interviews won't land them that ideal job. We have parents who were hired at Home Depot, Coca-Cola, Walmart, different hotels, in the hospitality, front desk. I mean, you name it. Parents are becoming hired.
So how many families do you think that you affect each year?
Ooh, I would say maybe between 100 and 120, rotating, doing different cycles that goes on in the community and in our environment dictates what our flow looks like coming in. And last year and the year before that, it was a high flow, high frequency, high turnover due to the low employment rate or the high unemployment rate. And right now we're seeing a lot of parents who are displaced due to housing. The shelter little function that happened where a lot of shelters around the city are closing. Then we get that flow in.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, the need always changes. Sometimes it's due to unemployment, domestic violence, displacements, transitions with shelters, or the overflow from other states. So it always changes. We never know. So I would like to say thank you to all of the young youth at the church that were able to donate their pennies, dimes, nickels, quarters to make things happen for the parents here. They can't physically tell you thank you today, but I would like to tell you thank you for them, because I know that your donations will make a difference and a change to meet the needs of the parents as well as the children, because they live there. They're recipients of their household too. And I just want to say, keep up the good work. Always let your light shine, and always remember that you can make a change. It only takes one person to make a ripple in the river, and you're that person. So keep up the good work.